Good day and welcome to Fireside with the Chaplain. Today's word of the day is look, and I was incredibly convicted by this word. The writer in Psalms, the way it was plain, it was simple, it was direct, and it hurt a little bit because I needed to ask myself, what am I looking at? What have I been looking at? What am I looking at now? The Common English Bible reads this way, 133, verse 1 of the book of Psalm. Look at how good and pleasing it is when families live together as one. Isn't it amazing how the shortest, the simplest sentences or ideas have such great breadth to them? Sometimes the most spiritual act is simply to pay attention. What are you paying attention to? Before we react, assume, or speak, God invites us to simply look. Not hurried, not desperate, but a holy pause, an intentional turning of our eyes, turning of our hearts toward what God is already doing among us. How often is it that we're looking ahead? We don't want to get ahead of God. Really? Do you think that's possible? Psalm 123:1 begins with an invitation, calling us to notice the beauty of unity and shared life. What we choose to look at determines what we learn to love. Let's get a little deeper here. Look is a verb that means to turn one's eye, attention, and heart towards something with intention. To behold, not only with sight, but with awareness and care. The psalmist didn't begin with an argument or a command. He begins with a word of wonder. Look. When was the last time you had some wonder in your life? It is as if God knows that unity can be overlooked if we are not paying attention. Wow, what are our current contextual situations asking us to do? In a world trained to spot differences, failures, and threats, God redirects our gaze towards something good and pleasing. People choosing to live together as one. Looking in this from a spiritual lens, I want to suggest that looking is a spiritual discipline. What we focus on shapes our posture towards others. When we look primarily for what is broken, for what we deem to be wrong, we grow critical and guarded. When we look for what is good, though, and pleasing in God's sight, we become people of grace and reconciliation. The fact of the matter is, when was the last time you extended someone the same amount of grace that you would want extended to you? Unity does not erase differences. It honors belonging. It is forged when we choose to see one another as connected and not competing. To look with God's eyes is to believe that harmony is possible, even in imperfect families, in imperfect people, communities, and teams. When we intentionally look for unity, we begin to participate in it. Our gaze becomes an act of faith, trusting that God is at work, knitting hearts together in ways we may never fully understand. To look is to choose where we place our attention. Psalm 133:1 reminds us that when we look for unity, we discover something deeply good and pleasing to our Creator God. Our intentional gaze can move from judgment to gratitude and from isolation to shared life. That could be convicting. But I've got 3 questions to reflect on. Maybe help the wrestling. Maybe help you articulate how you look at things. The first one is this: where does your attention naturally go? Do you naturally gravitate toward division, or do you naturally gravitate toward what connects? That can, in and of itself, can be an enlightening reflection. Number 2, who might God be inviting you to look at again with compassion and curiosity? Do you know that the word respect means to look at somebody again differently than you did the first time? To do again. Spectacles, to look again. How many looks have you given someone else? The third question: how could intentionally looking for unity change the tone and the tenor of your relationships that you have today? If you intentionally look for unity, do you think there could be some change? I'd suggest maybe so. If you forget everything, remember this: where you choose to look today may be the very place God is revealing something good and pleasing. The word of the day is look. Here at Focus and Vision Ministries, we believe that one word can change somebody's life. And if these words that you have been experiencing, hearing, reflecting on, if they have been stirring something in you, please, I'm begging you, share it. Share it, share it, share it. We're trying to spread the word all over the world because we believe the right word at the right time can change somebody's life. If you have not yet become a financial supporter and partner with Focus and Vision Ministries, there are links in the comment section below. Click on it. Find out what we're doing. Find out how we're doing it. We position ourselves to equip people and communities to thrive. And thriving is doing the best you can with what you have in the situations you're in. And none of that may be ideal, but it is thriving. Until we meet again, may God bless you and might you be well.